game, the person sitting next to you may smile and be a villain.
Peacock has a new reality game show called The Traitors, filled with betrayal, deceit, and murder. We're going to talk about it. I'm your host, Hyde. Welcome to Hide and Seek Media. Hello, all you beautiful and amazing people. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. The show is brought to you by the Hide and Seek Media Store. If you're like me and you like to spark a conversation or just make a statement without saying too much, click the link down below, check out all the cool merch I have to offer, and if you use code 1776, I'll give you 20% off your entire order. So, Peacock has come out with a new reality game show called The Traitors. Now, this is a U.S. version of a game show that we saw last year come from the BBC. And we know this is normally how Hollywood works, right? They'll do something over in Britain, and it'll be a hit. And so the U.S. people over here are like, hey, let's make our version of that, and let's see if it works. I mean, we've seen it with so many other shows like The Office and America's Got Talent, you know, the X Factor spinoff, and so many other shows, right? So this game show is set in the highlands of Scotland.
Deep in the Scottish Highlands, there's a castle where the faithful reside. Their goal? Win $250,000.
And it's hosted by Alan Cumming. So we have 20 contestants, 17 faithful, and 3 traitors.
But hidden amongst them are 3 traitors.
Now, the contestant pool is broken up into 10 regular everyday Americans and 10 reality stars from various TV shows and, you know, game shows like this. So, I mean, like Survivor and Big Brother and games like that and shows like that. So the show starts off, all 20 contestants are brought to the castle in Scotland, where they all meet for the first time, get together, and then are blindfolded. And this is where the traitors are then picked by the host, Alan Cumming, right? So he walks around the table, you know, he gives a speech or whatever. They put the blindfolds on, and then he says, if I tap you on your shoulder, you are a traitor. Now, everybody is blindfolded the entire time. So when he does finally pick his 3 traitors, he makes another quick little lap around the table, tells everybody to take their blindfolds off. The traitors have been picked, and the game is on, right? So this is where everyone starts to try to discern, okay, whose attitude changed and whose body language has changed and stuff like that, right? So what I thought was funny was that everyone was trying to pick up on clues right off the get-go. And it's like, hold on, let's let everyone settle down and settle into the game first before we start trying to decipher who's lying to us. Because everyone just got there, right? And it wasn't like you had been hanging around for, you know, a day or two before this and gotten to know everybody. You were getting to know everybody right then. And so it put a level of distrust in everybody's brain from the very beginning. And that's what I thought was kind of great about one of the dynamics of this show. So the way the game works, it's a murder mystery. And you have 3 traitors amongst the 20 faithful. And these 3 traitors meet in secret every night and decide who they're going to murder. So the traitors get to know each other's identities and are able to look out for one another throughout the game, you know, while they're having conversations with other people. So like if they hear a fellow traitor's name get brought up, they can kind of steer the conversation away from that person and then let that person know, hey, you've popped up on the radar, you need to tone it down or whatever, right? So it was a great aspect of the game, I thought, that gave the traitors an advantage. And so the traitors meet in secret and they get to decide who they're going to murder. Now, the way the money works is the contestants as a group, traitors and faithful together, have to complete missions and, Survivor style challenges to earn money. And then it's put into the prize pool, which then is won at the end of the game. Now, the thing about that is, if a traitor makes it to the finale and the game is called complete, that traitor gets to steal the entire prize pool. So if at the finale of this game, there will be 4 contestants left. If there is one traitor amongst them, and all of them unanimously vote to end the game, that traitor gets to steal the entire prize pool, and the other 3 faithful go home with nothing.
There are traitors amongst you. You think you know who they are? So trust no one.
But if one contestant votes to continue the game, they do another banishment until there is a unanimous vote to end the game. Now, banishments happen every night. After the missions are completed, they all come back to the castle, relax, have a meal, and then they have a roundtable meeting. This is where they all meet together and voice their concerns about certain contestants or certain players and who they think should be voted out because they are a traitor.
Game faces are on.
I know if I was a traitor right now, I would be a wreck.
You're going to confront her when you're saying her name all day?
Honey, I'm looking for every excuse to get you.
Now, this aspect really showed me a social dynamic that I see happening on a bigger scale here in this country, and that is groupthink. So throughout the game and throughout the day, you can hear players say, oh, I think this person might be a traitor. And, I suspect this person might be a traitor too. But when it came to the round table to discuss that, a lot of times it was just 1 or 2 players that were discussed and then voted for. So they were all trying to kind of ensure that one of these 2 players got voted out and kind of minimizing the damage and not spreading the vote around. And I kind of had a problem with that because I would like to see more people stand by what they believe and say, I get what you guys are saying over there about how this person may be a traitor, but I kind of have my feelings are stronger on this person than that person. And so I think I'm going to vote here just to try and get that name put out there for other people to start considering it too, right? And so I didn't see a lot of that, and that kind of bothered me. It was very rare that more than 2 people's names came up at the round table to be voted out. So when you got banished, you then had to go into the circle of truth, where you then said your goodbyes to everybody and then had to reveal to the faithful whether you were a traitor or a faithful. Now, this was a great twist to the game because it messes with people's confidence in their abilities to read people and figure out who's lying to them. Because when you vote out a faithful and you are 100% sure they were a traitor, it messes with your confidence. It messes with your, ability to read people and your decision making. And this happened over and over because it's going to, right? You have 20 people and only 3 of them are traitors. You're not going to get the traitors right off the bat. Right? That's just silly to believe that you are. You have to understand that you are going to vote out faithfuls. That's just the sheer numbers mean it's going to happen. But what I did like was when they did get to where a traitor was on the radar, the other 2 cut him loose.
Exciting, isn't it?
They were like, oh, sorry, your name's come up multiple times. So they would tell that traitor they're going to try to deflect while they were really scheming together to vote that person out. And that was what was part of the betrayal that you saw in this game was they didn't stab you in the back. They looked you right in the face and said, bam, I'm voting for you. And even though I know you're a traitor, I'm going to vote for you because I need you out of this game. And it was like you had to, as a traitor being voted out, you had to sit there and hold your composure, knowing you're being betrayed by your fellow traitors, knowing you're going home, and knowing you're going to have to reveal that you are a traitor to everybody in a few moments. That had to have been one of the hardest things for those people to go through. And I thought, dang, that's rough. But at the same time, you almost have to have that part of you that can shut off the emotion and be that cold, precise, and calculated. Because in order to win the money, if you're a traitor, you have to stay completely under the radar. And there are some that did a very good job of that. And so I liked that aspect of the game. So when you get and early on, there was a number of faithful that got voted out. And so you could see people's confidence is being shooken. And it was an interesting dynamic to the show. But what I really loved about this show was how you got to watch people's social interactions when they thought somebody was lying to them and you knew it wasn't a lie, right? And so it was very, very intriguing. And so I would highly, highly recommend that you go watch this show because I was very captivated by it. It was interesting to be able to watch the traitors come together every night and say, okay, we're gonna murder this person tonight because they're not going to expect it, or we're going to murder this person tonight because they're getting too close, or it was to watch them figure out how they were going to do it was great. And the missions were interesting. They were some of them were a little much. I would think you were putting some of these people that would never be in a situation like that ever in their life have to do some. And it was some of them crumbled under the pressure, and their other players had to step up, and help them out. And that was what was crazy too, was a lot of these missions you had to be broken up into teams. And so you had traitors amongst you, and you had to trust them in those moments. You had to trust that they were there looking out for your best interest too, because the more money you make, the more you take home. The only thing is in the back of your mind, you're thinking, but this person's trying to do it so they can steal it from me, not so that I can have some of it, right? Like if it was all 4 faithfuls at the end, then it splits the money 4 ways, right? Or however many people there were at the end. It's supposed to be, it starts with 4, but it can dwindle all the way down to 1 if they or 2, because you can't, one-on-one banishment doesn't work. So it could dwindle all the way down to 2 players, technically. But in this one, it didn't. The ending had a weird twist to it. I will say that. But it was great to see the person who won win, right? And so I'll leave it at that. My review for this TV show is I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend you go watch The Traitors on Peacock. But I'm going to leave it there. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I appreciate it so much. It really means a lot to me that you've made it this far. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. If you like the show and you like the channel, smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video, the channel, and the topic. I love to engage with my viewers, so feel free to fire away. But if you really like this channel and you really want to help support my work, the best thing you can do is hit that share button and share this video on all social media platforms. Those interactions will show the algorithms that my video needs more impressions, and that's how we grow. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I'll catch you later. Peace.